All that you need to start Silk is you need an email address and a username and a password, and that's it. So this is my new Silk. I'm going to go into the Fatal Encounters database. I actually took some of it. I copied it and put it over in a different spreadsheet because I wanted to add a little bit of location data to it. But let's grab the first 100 records from here, and you can see this data has all kinds of information, age, name, date stamp, race, and location data. And I'm going to grab the first 100 rows. And if you wanted to edit this Silk, say, for example, date and description or unique identifier, we probably want to drop that because that's not very useful. We can ignore that. Because this is a database, we actually call these data cards, but because this is a database, each record doesn't need to have a unique name. Now, to explain this sort of fully, too, this basically is a row on your spreadsheet. All the information in this section this is the column headers. This is the contents of the rows. Let's go ahead and start the import process. And it shouldn't take very long. Usually with something this size, it takes maybe 10 or 15 seconds. All of these visualizations were generated from the exact same data underneath, from the same data table. And it can all be taken back exactly to a table view if you want. So for example, in the data cards which we have here, each one of them can be accessed in your dashboard. And each one of them can then be seen and actually edited as well if you wanted to. So back to our Silk, which should be done. Let's go first and build a simple table view. And we'll build that of everybody. And we'll get rid of the image so that the table is nice and clean. And so this is a nice simple table. We can add a little filter. And we can add, let's see, what would be a good one? Let's say cause of death. Any visualization you generate in Silk throws that responsive embed code that you see here, which you can very easily click and copy into your CMS. It is an iframe for everyone that uses iframes. You can also customize the size of it or customize the wrapper if you needed to, although most of the internal embed itself is pretty fixed. So let me just go ahead for posterity. I'm going to publish this to my homepage, which is basically sort of the homepage of the Silk, like I showed you with Fatal Encounters. So Silk has CMS-like capabilities, and this is actually a live URL. If you were to go to ire-test-movie.silk.co, you would see this. And so you can see here's that filter I was talking about. We can flip that to vehicle, and now it would change the columns. So because there's 100, most of them haven't died in the vehicle. And all of the columns are also sortable by any of the column headers as well. So there we sorted by location of city, and so you can see it's alphabetical. Now here, this view that you're seeing on Silk, that is from the same URL that we generated when we built the visualization. We do use Google Maps, so you don't need to have fancy location information. Each of the map points, you can see this is the map data that we put in, okay? You don't need geolocation. You don't need lat long, although it can read lat long if you want it to. But this map, again, you can actually create that embeddable view and very quickly and easily put that on your website. So for everyone who wanted to make maps very quickly, you can do it this way. Another thing, you remember where you saw the mosaic view? We can build a nice little mosaic where we have the victim's images. So this can be like particularly evocative if you want to. So you can actually publish rich data stories in Silk that are standalone this way. So you see a little bit of the CMS capabilities here. You can also add text blocks, videos, images to the homepage, and you can also use a custom URL for your publication so that it would essentially be on your domain if you wanted to. This map, whenever it updates, or you update it with the spreadsheets by adding new information or re-uploading a URL, it doesn't automatically sync yet, but you can cut and paste the same information back in, and it will automatically update not just your map, but everyone else's map. So it really encourages people to create steadily updatable things that newsrooms can use all the time.